So let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Congratulations for being selected as the top 10 teams for the Build program. Really proud to be part of this program because I'm really inspired by all of you who are early stage startups, who are college students, who are looking at growing your careers in that direction. Really very inspiring for me as a person. Because I think this is what I take as motivation for my child or for my people around me, because it's so great to be associated with such a great cause. So wishing you all the best in your journey, and either way, whether you're winners or not, I think all of you are really winners because you have been selected out of a big list of people, a big list of applications that they've really scrutinized, done a great job at trying to finalize the top 10 teams. So congratulations and all the best to all of you.
This is my 11th year running here, so I've pretty much seen the place from ground up and seen almost all the 300 odd startups that we have incubated, right? So it's been a fantastic journey, but I can assure you not a single day is the same as the previous one, and not a single startup is the same as the other startup, all right? So it's been a very exciting journey so far. And like Brenda mentioned, this is the second Boeing build that we are doing. The objective of the boot camp, as you would have seen, is to kind of introduce you to some of the key entrepreneurship themes, right? There is no way that in 5 days you'll kind of know the end to end of what is a business model canvas, right? Or the end to end of what is it to kind of get to market, right? Or the product market fit. This is just to kind of give you an introduction to what are the key aspects of a startup.
Look at what all goes on over here, but take an opportunity to also interact with some of our startup founders. Any questions that you may have, of course, they are going to talk about their journey, what they do in their startup and so forth, as a standard, their interaction with any visitors, but make use of this opportunity to also, ask personal questions if you want to. What it takes, what are the challenges they've gone through, what it takes to build an organization. Some of them may be in a similar space that you are kind of starting your journey in. So please make use of the next 1 hour and of course through the rest of the 4 or 5 days.
What does it take to build a business? Now, what is success to you? If you see, a business in essence is only 4 things, right? What are you offering? What is the offering? Who are the customers? What is your infrastructure like? And then what is the market? And a TLDR version of this is how you're going to make money. So business model canvas is simply a framework. It is not going to give you the answer. It is just a way in which you can structure your thinking.
I think all of us are design thinkers because all of us make ideas. So what do I do? What mentality do I cultivate in order to be a design thinker? Never again do anything in your life without understanding what is the problem. You will never again do anything in your life unless you test your solutions. You will not spend money unless you have prototyped and tested what your customer wants. You know that you have to feel compassion for your customer. You know that you have to ask the customer about their problems, because world's problems are solved by the designers, right? There are only 2 types of people in the world, the followers and the designers.
Why are you facing these challenges? If you have such a great product, why is nobody interested? So there are so many things which are lined into a product. What all does my customer need? Who is my immediate competition? Understand the jobs that the customers are trying to get done, challenges they are trying to overcome, problems they are trying to solve. Create stunning emails. It is about emails, but what does it do? Create stunning emails, you see?
So now when we are talking about product market fit, how do you deliver your product? You have to deliver. No, it could be a service. to be an online service also, but still you may need a channel, you may need a portal, you may need some kind of a point where the customer can buy. If you may expect the customer to change many things just to buy a product from us, we will have an uphill task. How do you want to reach your product to the customer, and how does the customer want to receive it?
In this session, we will focus more on presenting our product or service to the customer. Try and keep to the top 2 features which you think are the most important. Okay, 4 extremely important aspects, our ability to present our product or service. Quantify benefits. The word I want to use, which you must keep in your mind, is do not stick with generic statements on benefits, but quantify benefits. Selling is not telling.
As you start with an idea till you go to a prototype, what are the key different characteristics, key values, what you need to carry along? We need to solve the problem in a beautiful manner so that users really jump onto that solution. This is where we want to find an approach where by building something very simple, we want to prove that customers are really going to love what we are going to build. Once we get to the prototype, then next steps from there would be to get into a minimum viable product or product depending upon what is there.
Unless there is a customer to buy your product or service, it can't be called as an innovation. So this has to be kept in mind. Okay, so this, okay, what happened? Why startups fail? So you can see that 42% of the reason for failure is no market need for the product they build. 2 ways are there. One is, you try to find out competitive products, okay, globally available, something similar to you.
So we will talk about revenue streams, revenue models, and pricing. Okay, all 3 are slightly different. That is why I will come to pricing. Once you enter at a certain level, to change that will become difficult. So you may also want to do that. You may say if it's a complementary product, if you buy something and you force them to use something, like you buy a razor, you have to only use that stick or that blade.
Different investors have different perspectives. So if you are going from first floor to 10th floor and you think that guy is a potential investor, in that 1.5 minutes, you must be able to communicate what you are all about. Founders, 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 and nothing but founders. It doesn't matter if it is a bootstrap company. Wonders have been known to happen that bootstrap companies overnight get funded very well. The world's leading experts have not been able to decide a formula for valuation. Only 70% of the decisions you take are right. 30% of decisions you take will be wrong. Now, just like the investor is choosing you, you also need to choose the right investor.
And you are now looking at where do you want to take the organization to scale. Because the story is the starting point for all things that are structure, all things that are organization.
Right, so there is a big gap in addressing that particular use.
Here, we are today here for you to put forth our company, that's our idea, that's Aerobricks, and
in which the part will fail. For example, NASA, they have turbofan and they have data for almost 10 to 20 years. So we'll monitor how long it is going to take. It's called mean time between failure, and we'll find out when.
A lot of startups that are focusing on launching their own satellites or rockets, and currently we are nearly reaching what is called tipping point for the Indian space sector.
To spend a big deal of money there, whereas small scale industries doesn't have the capability. Like if you don't go to ground to Coimbatore, they are capable of building an injection molding machine or engine quickly, but they cannot create a digital tool.
Here to understand this technology, we have to understand what is a jet engine. Basically, jet engine is like simply that will intake air, it will burn, it will release hot.
And what kind of story do you tell? And why do you have to tell the story? You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. Okay. So we saw that changing the perspective of the story changes the outcome. they look at 150 deals in order to invest in one. I told you about 10A angels. We already looked at 2,000 plus pitches. We have invested in 22, just a little above 1%.
What the founders are trying to build? Is it a closed setup? Are they limited to their number of people and completely planning to remain bootstrapped in the future? Then there is a rule that I mentioned, information security practices rules. So as per that rules, whether you're adhering to those rules or not is something that you have to take care of.
People who have been very successful, right from Teslas of the world to Googles of the world to Amazons of the world, they follow something called OKRs to measure the metrics. That way, you are not only saving on the infra, but also saving on the developer's efficiency. That is the major boon that you should really look at.
So creating how your product development soared to the next level.
Let me remind each of us about the powers that we have. Why is it that we don't think of ourselves as superpowers, right, or not? What? Any answer that is a yes or no answer is not a good question. So in your entrepreneurial journey, are you imagining the product 50 years from now? Because what you hate today, you can actually love tomorrow. What a powerful that is, right? So powerful, so powerful. Sometimes we think listening means obeying. Listening is not obeying.
Prior to coming here, all we thought about a startup was it is more technology, and we were not customer centric. But over the sessions that we have heard, we understood that that along with technology, your customer base and customer marketing all are important.
One thing about this particular program that is offered by IIT Madras is that the lineup of sessions that they have, which is very much important as well as required for the overall development of the startup.
The journey that the Boeing build program has given us is very crucial for the success of us.
We were a little bit clueless about the Boeing program until the schedule was out. The schedule was pretty much sorted out to a 5-day schedule where we learn about everything in 5 days. It's a whole package kind of. We learned about the problem statement, solutions and other pitching ideas to the investors apparently, and we also had a connect with so much mentors which will gain our startup to grow to next level of the stage. Firstly, I would like to thank Boeing and IITMIC for this wonderful initiative called Build. Coming purely from a technical background, this was an eye-opener session for us where we had to garner this approach of making a transition from a product-based approach towards a customer-based approach.
I learned a lot, and I learned how to think as a manager or as a startup rather than a programmer, because my previous background is programming. And not only that, the support staff have also helped us very much. They have been around and they have been guiding us all together. So I wish to thank the IIT Madras Incubation Center, Boeing and also the support staff for the constant encouragement.
It was fortunate for us to attend the Boeing bootcamp. We learned a lot from this bootcamp, starting from the basics of where to start a startup and to know the nuances of all the startups.
IIT Madras Incubation Cell.